Apparently my internet died. I don't know what happened. So I've got about an hour left. This stream will be 1 hour long. Tops. I hope. Probably. Yeah, my stream just rolled over and kicked the bucket. I mean, actually, it kept streaming. OBS was just like, la da da da. But Restream blew up, and then I noticed Copilot. Apparently, you need internet connection for Copilot to work. I'm talking about your... I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? I mean, I just never... I hadn't run into the issue in which Copilot exploded before, so that was new. So, yep, I got a 50-second version of me going on right now. That's what happens when your internet rolls over. I don't know why it did it. I mean, there's no weather. I mean, why would weather kill your internet anyway? But as long as it doesn't kill your power. But it didn't. I was just sitting here going la la, and everything just started disconnecting on me. Like, what's going on? Still says streaming. But then I saw it's not on my Twitch, and then I was like, oh, something's up. And then all of a sudden, all my things disappeared. So yeah, I'm still going through getting my environment variable set up. Sorry for the delay. So we're going to go. Where is it setting the environment variable? Oh, right up here. Puts it right at the top of the file. So we're gonna go here. I know you can't see it. I'll be back in just a moment. I'm just. All right. So we're gonna go here. I don't know what that is, but we will go get this. And then I gotta go to my env. I'm just setting up some env keys and stuff. You know, stuff that needs to be kind of off screen, kind of protected. Security things, you know. You should just probably shouldn't share with the world. I know the world is trustworthy. We all know the world is trustworthy, right? There's nobody out there trying to fiddle-faddle with your stuff, but, you know, let's not make it a first time. And then I gotta do this one. Copy, paste. Are we still up? Just checking to make sure I didn't that there's not some other thing going on. I don't know what the Google redirect URI is either. I gotta figure out what that is. Because I don't remember getting a Google redirect URI. Oh wait, what is going on? Geo. But that should get those two files done. So I have the stuff that they gave me. But what is the URI? Setting up your OAuth consent. App information logo, client ID, app information logo, authorized domains, deleting a logo, user type, publishing type, testing and production. If your app requests a subset of following name, email. Projects configured publishing status of testing limit 200. Test users. Authorization by test user will expire 7 days from time of consent. receives a refresh token. A test user may be unable to authorize scopes requested by auth. All right, I gotta ask a question, I guess. Let's go over to my AMG auth. Bring my code back over to the world of sharing. Oh, yeah, that's right. I need this go.env thing. A couple of things are out of whack here. Did I miss something? OS? Oh, yep. Strings and URL. Really taking a long time to do stuff like saving. I don't know, I'm gonna have to reboot this computer because it's taking really long to do stuff. And look, just saving takes forever. And some of the items went clean. It's like partially halfway. All right, workspace. What is a Google redirect URI? I don't have that one. Are you making stuff up, man? There's no redirect URI. Do I have to go back to my... Do I have to go back to Google and say, I need a redirect URI? Is the URL to which Google OAuth 2 servers will send the user after they have authenticated and granted your application access. The URI must be registered in the Google API console for your OAuth 2.0 client ID. Example, if your application is running HTTP localhost 3030, you might set the redirect URI to localhost 3030 API callback. Oh. I think. Oh. Let's see, well, my front end is React, currently running, I think it's 3,000. How do I say, I think it's 3,000. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's 3,000. It's running on, is a React JS app currently running on local host 3000, which is what I set on Google. So should I just add the extension? No, I don't even need to. Let's just, which should just bring me to my home page, I think. And I don't even need to hide that. I don't care, because it's just the path that's going to take them back to the home. So read. All right, so the thing is, I've got to figure out the scenario in which app is calling, right? So right now, I only have one app calling, but if I have my Android app calling, it's going to be a different redirect thing. So that's going to be different. I may have... All right, let's try this. My front end React.js currently running on Hello 3000. This is what I said on Google. Soon, I will also be using an Android front end, which will have a different redirect. How do I set it up to have the option to use different redirects and even client IDs depending on what app is calling. I think it's going to be another like Android Oh, I didn't even think about that. So put the client ID on the other side and then pass it in and then have it come back. That would be good. So my AMG auth.go has to be changed. So exchange code for token. Use a token. Pass the client ID and redirect URI to the backend when initiating the OAuth form. So we need this guy. And this guy is going to be the header for this guy. This guy's still going to be used, but he's going to just go here. And these guys can go away. Client ID, yeah, these guys will go away. So we're still doing this stuff. It's just going to be passed in instead. Now, I'm glad I asked. If I hadn't asked that question, I would be like, oh, we'll set this up. And then we have to rewrite everything. Okay. So what would the call from React be updated? This is the current look. I don't know. I feel like I should use Axios. I mean, I don't know. Because I'm okay with using straight purpose. I just don't know what Axios... What is Axios doing that's saving me any effort? You still do the body.json code, client ID, redirect URI. It's kind of the same. It doesn't look a whole lot different. AMG auth. I'm doing all this stuff from the gateway, but I assume I don't need it in AMG auth, the application. Because I have AMG auth here. Pass the client. It doesn't really explain. I asked it what the difference is between Axios and Fetch. It just says if you want to do it one way or the other. Use either Axios or the native Fetch API to make the request. I don't know. I feel like, why is it using... Alright. Let's get a professional's opinion. We're going to go to... we'll use Claude. I haven't used Claude at all today. Claude's pretty good at describing things. Let's go see what Claude says. And I know Claude's in here too, but I don't want to erase this because I want to keep it until I'm... I don't want to push anything off. What is the use case for Axios versus just using native fetch functionality functionality in my Next.js/React.js application? JSON data transformation. I gotta wait for it to finish typing. It's actually got a lot of stuff here. Let's see. Automatic JSON data transformation. Axios automatically transform request and response data from JSON. With Fetch, you need to manually call JSON on responses. Better error handling. Axios automatically rejects on HTTP error status codes. Fetch only rejects on network failures requiring manual error checking. Request response interceptors. Allow global modifications to requests and responses. Useful for adding auth tokens, logging, error handling. Request cancellation. Built-in support for canceling requests. Useful for preventing race conditions. JavaScript. Advantage of fetch. No additional dependencies. Built into modern browsers. Reduces bundle size. No need to worry about package updates and vulnerabilities. Native browser support. Better browser caching. Consistent with web standards. Uses native browser features for things like cookies. Simple requests, more straightforward for basic API calls. Less abstraction when you don't need advanced features. Recommendations. Use fetch when building a simple application with basic API calls. Bundle size is a priority. You mainly need get post requests without complete configurations. You want to stick with native browser features. Building a complex application with many API calls. You need advanced features like interceptors. You want consistent error handling across browsers. You need to support older browsers with an appropriate polyfill. You're building a large application where the convenience features save development time. Consider Next.js 13 Plus includes its own data fetching utilities that work well with server components. If using primarily server components, you might not need either Axios or Fetch directly. Ultimately, both tools are valid choices. The decision often comes down to your specific needs, regarding features, browser support, and development preferences. Oh. It's like, I'm really kind of struggling with these two. It's like, all right, well, here's the description. Oh, and this third option, which I won't tell you too much about. Okay. Async function get data. Now you made me curious. How does Next.js features differ from particularly in context of React Server components and the app router, server components and static data fetching. App page, this fetch is automatically deduped and cached. Key differences: runs on the server only, reducing client-side JavaScript. Automatic caching with configurable revalidation, no loading states or use effect needed. Built-in caching and revalidation. Fetch with revalidation every 60 seconds. Parallel data fetching. These run in parallel automatically. Route handlers, API routes with enhanced features. Function get, constant date, await fetch. You know, the thing is, when there's multiple versions too, you got it when you're asking questions about how to set something up, you got to remember to treat, there's multiple versions. So you say, I'm using Next fetch features, or Axios fetch features, or React fetch features, so that it knows what format of the code it give you, because a lot of times it'll give you the wrong one. It will do that. APIs do it all the time. If there's 3 ways to do something, it will give you one of the wrong ways or one of the other ways. And you're like, this don't look the same. Why not? Oh, because it wanted to do its own thing. And so, yeah. Honestly, I'm thinking about not using Axios, getting away from Axios, because I don't like extra libraries and stuff. I mean, I know it's a lot of times those libraries are cool and they're powerful, but it's just like it's too much stuff if it's just built in. So I'm thinking, and I'm using Next.js for, because of its back-end functionality. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my this, and we're going to go export. This has got to say something like export default fetch OAuth response. Sure. I think that's what they're all returning. I think they're all returning a response object. I think, yep. I'm gonna go up here. I gotta rename this puppy. Go const equals async wait, what? Okay. And I need it to provide me providers. So we need to go think we're good. I need to provide client ID and callback URI. Is it, wait, it's not callback URI. What's it called? Redirect URI. That's what it's called. It's called redirect URI. Redirect URI. Here's my call to OAuth on my backend. Call to OAuth on my backend gateway. I wrote client redirect URI. This is in a Next.js application, and let's use Next.js functionality. Ah, shoot, I did it again. No. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. It's not what I wanted to do. No. Let me do it over. I don't want you to use that one because now you'll be using... You're using up one of my Claude questions. Hey, when I do that, I say, I have it in my memory, or, you know, in memory, and I just need to paste it. And then I do something goofy like that. I don't actually paste it. Let's try that again, because I obviously doinked that. All right. Whoa. Whoa, what is it doing? That's a lot of code. That is a lot of code. Why does that seem... Wow, what? That's a lot of code. So basically it's just we're setting up the variables at the top. Okay, so let's see, OAuth interface, OAuth response, interface, auth results. I don't need Axios because I said use Next.js, but whatever. Export async function, fetch. Early return if there's an error in the OAuth responses. Validate code exists. Authorization code is missing. Try. Get the endpoint URL for the provider. Get the endpoint URL for the provider. So we have constant provider endpoint. Error, no provider. Make the request to the backend. Oh wait, Axios post. I told it let's use Next.js, but whatever. Catch error, handle Axios errors. Login failed. Handle other errors. Something is wrong with the provider login. Oh, and then this is the call to it. This isn't the fetch. Oh, it is the fetch. Oh wait, no. Oh, this is actually what I want here. This is the piece I wanted to have in my... I'm going to need that one. That is the other piece I wanted to ask for. That's the call to the actual app piece that I need to go in here and go to login.js and plug in right here. And I really don't need this under construction, I think, because I'm already testing. Oh, well, no, I guess I'm not. That is my test. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so we're going to take this guy. Really, I guess I didn't need There's some error handling and other junk in here, but there's a lot going on in here. I feel like it's overdone, but it could be there's just a lot of space. It does look kind of spacey. And this is just the client, so this isn't so bad. So it might not be too big of a deal. So, because this is login failed, something went wrong with provider login. That's just my catching the error. And ultimately, I need that call. And then we can do this. I want to see. Maybe I'll also ask something here. Now, I am hoping this is returning a JWT bearer token. I don't know. Can even OAuth return bearer tokens? I don't know. Or I create the token, I think. And you're like, shouldn't you know this? You already created this. Oops. What kind of trip token is this returning in response? Oh, come on. I'm not trying to hit it's supposed to be delete, not backspace. What kind of drip token is this returning? A bearer token would allow me to pass more info. No, I mean at workspace. Actually, I mean, what kind of token does my auth All right, well, let's do this. On my front end, I need a token that... Jeez, I have so many questions in my head, and the problem is I'm having trouble wording them because it's like I have a bunch. Okay, so one, does my AMG auth provide or means to validate a token to use in the front end? Two, what kind of token is my AMG auth service returning to the front end? Three, is my AMG front end set up to send user account information back from my MongoDB once I have a Google access token successfully received. Because I think what I'm trying to do is somebody logs in with Google, and then I create my own token saying, hey, they logged in, we're good. Use this token to do stuff, to validate. So that's what I'm trying to create. See, authentication is a pain in the tushkas because there's all these things you want to do, right? And you want to be able to control. Your current AMG auth service does not explicitly provide a means to validate token being used in front end. To validate a token, you would typically need an endpoint that accepts a token and verifies its validity. You can add an endpoint to validate the token. Here's an example, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I need to add an endpoint for validating the token. So I need to do that. What kind of token is my AMG auth service returning to the front end? Your AMG auth service is returning a JWT to the front end. This JWT generated after successfully authenticating a user with Google OAuth and retrieving user information from MongoDB. Is my AMG auth front end set up to send user account information back from MongoDB once I have. Your current AMG auth service does not explicitly send user account information back to the front end. It only returns a token. To send user account information, you need to modify the handle OAuth callback function to include user information in the response. Okay, so I'm still missing some pieces. key elements of the whole process. I felt like there's something here is not quite right. I could sense it. I felt like we were just doing the bare minimum, and now I have to go through and fix that. So you can add a new endpoint to validate the token. Here's an example of how you can add a validate function and route. Okay, so where am I adding this to? It doesn't actually say. It just says, you can do this. It's probably in my AMG auth. So is that going on my register auth routes, or is that like the main here? Nope. This is actually going in the gateway main. Because I have handle func, login, OAuth. Nope. That must be in the gateway mgauth.go. Register routes. Yes. Login, OAuth, callback. Okay, so we got that guy. And yeah, so then we got the handle func. And then we have to do the validate. We got the callback, so I have to add a validate piece. And that's going to have to be this validate token piece. It's going to go right underneath it. Handle func. It's just telling me to change these things. Where am I putting it? AMG auth.go. So none of these changes seem to be affecting the AMG auth service or the proto. Oh, is that correct? Include your account information in the response. So there are proto changes, but none to the main.go in the AMG auth service or the service.go or store.go or grbc_handler.go. Only changes to AMG auth.go in the gateway service. Huh. Okie dokie. If you say so, Smokey. Let's go do the proto, auth.proto. I don't know why these turn red. Stop doing that. Stop randomly turning red. I don't know why. Stop doing that. You make me nervous. They weren't red before. Auth.proto. Now we're going to go back up here and go change my auth.proto. Okay, so we got auth.proto here. What is it missing? This was in color at one point. I don't know what happened. It stopped being in color. Options, page API, Google annotations, proto. We got auth service, which we got that. Login request, auth service, Twitch. Wow. It's going to be more than that, but for now, yeah, password user. Oh, this doesn't actually have any changes to it. I thought there was a validation call piece. File defines an SRPC methods for login and OAuth login. Okay, so I guess it doesn't need it. And then, so the only thing I need is to change them here, which I did do. So we had added that. And yeah, okay, so we got all that. Include user information in the response. You need to update the handle OAuth callback function as discussed earlier. Find or create user. And where does this go? That's the thing I don't know. Also, you have a new handle OAuth callback function defined above. Where does that go? I'm guessing it's just going to go into here with the OAuth and the validate token, but I don't know. Sheesh. AMG okay. Handle login. OAuth callback function, okay. Login, OAuth, client. Exchange code for token, which is going to go underneath. And we got, handle OAuth callback. Oh, I have a handle OAuth callback. I just, apparently, this one's a little bit more robust. All these guys need to be happening too. All right. And is there some kind of declarations up here I need? Yep, I need to put this guy in there. Whew, man. Lots of bits and pieces, man, to make everything get going. I'm just trying to make it do all the stuff it has to do to get me my data back. And you can see my saving here is really dogging it. So I'm gonna have to probably have to reboot my computer shortly, because I think when I log off here and go get some food and stuff, I think I'm going to make sure everything looks pretty good there. It even turned green. Nice. All right, so I think we've got a number of things going on. Fail to find create user, find or create user, check if the user exists in MongoDB, which it doesn't because we will create it, I hope. Find or create user down here. Generate custom user ID, implement this function. Okay, and store.createUser. So we do have these things to define still. Store.createUser and generate custom user ID and find user by email, which probably makes sense because I don't actually have. Okay, so all right. Just getting through all of the bits and parts, man. So many bits and parts. No changes needed. Okay, so there's no changes needed, technically. But in fact, there will be changes needed, because in order for these to exist, they have to go exist in the other app, so, or in the other service here, the auth service, which is all red for some reason. Okay, so, but we didn't add anything new. I mean, the validate functionality didn't actually go anywhere new. Apparently it didn't make any calls or change the proto file at all. So let's go ahead and continue to tweak this. And this is the client side. Okay, so I really only need this. It's not as much as I thought, because I didn't well, it's not. It does some pre-prep stuff, which I guess I'm okay with. I did say use Next.js though, and it used Axios. So I don't know. I mean, I'm already using Axios, but I kind of was like trying to go away from using Axios. ng auth. Where's my data? Playbook data. All right, let's go back. I should probably call it AMG auth data. Just so that we're, you know. And it didn't change my name, right? And look. Fetch auth response. Okay, it did not. All right, so we should have, what is this thing? Oh, this is the fetch auth response. And then we have roast covenant. Oh, you tricked me. Tricked me. Don't do that. I don't like being tricked. Go away. Sorry, man. Not welcome. You're going to be trying to sell me stuff. Go away. Don't come back. Lots of errors. TypeScript. Ugh, dude. I did not. No. No. I said Next.js. This is a React. All right. Okay. Let me clarify. My app is Next.js, React.js. I am using a file called file above is a dated.js file returning auth response. Code you gave has several errors pertaining to TypeScript, which is not correct for my app. All right. Okay. Let's see. It kind of tried a different approach. I can tell. It's a lot simpler looking. But but it doesn't give me the I need to pass client ID and the redirect public gateway URL and the redirect URI in the calls to the API. What is code? What is code meant to be? It says constant code response. Oh, that's just what we're returning back. Oh, that's all I need to do is just add them into their variables. Guess that's one thing. Axios does make passing stuff in a little simpler. But yeah, I won't be calling those right away. But this is really, truly, this is all I really need. I mean, I do want to use some of the other stuff it's doing. It's doing some stuff where it kind of cleans up some bits and parts, but I think it's actually kind of what I had already, to be honest. It's kind of already going that way. I guess I can pass in this headers. I don't know why it didn't, but I mean, I feel like it should be there because it's there for the other one. Most of the examples I've seen have shown me to do this, so I don't know why this one's not. So, but like it did, I kind of like the way it was doing it because this is all the same. I just need to get I just need to get the client ID, redirect URIs for each one. So I would probably pull each one from an environment variable. But defining the strings at the top, I did kind of like that, just because it's out of the way. It's kind of clean that way. But I mean, I'm only calling them once, so it probably doesn't matter, you know. And I'm not going to have like 10 more getting added to this. This is probably it. I don't think I'll ever do more than 4. So probably not relevant. I don't really need to put it at the top. All right, so what else we got? I don't know what this code get OAuth code from response, constant code. I mean, do I really need that? Oh, I already do that. That's already part of my thing. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then down here we return fetch OAuth response. Return res data. Yeah. All right. Guess that's it. That's kind of the whole call there. All right, so it's 6:30. I'm going to call it. I think I've got my UI ready to do its part. Maybe I still have to do something with my results, but what I'll do with it, I don't know. Once you're logged in, I think what I have to do is read that data and store it to a cookie. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the data, store it to a cookie. I should probably even just do it is store it to a cookie right away. Just do this, check to see if it's successful here, because that's all I care about, and then send them to wherever. But I will do that next time. We're getting there. Almost done with the auth. Hopefully soon. I can have that kind of going, that flowing both directions, and then I can go back to trying to get the other tech debt stuff done. Checking in, trying to get a deploy that goes to my test, and then playing with it, making sure all that stuff is working. Hopefully I can get that going in a day or two, and then if so, I can work on the next step of deploying to prod and setting up a public interface that I can start making, hitting it from the outside world. That's you. Till next time.